And today, man, I'm just gonna talk about Dave Chappelle's special. I know it's very controversial. Um, I have some friends that love the special, um, and kind of the old school comics kind of deal, and knowing how it affects people at different stages of their life as well. It's I don't know, man. It's For me, it's kind of sorting out, like listening to it and what I take away from it. Um, like first off, I've heard too many open mics over the years, so it doesn't affect me like the different jokes and stuff, and um, so it's funny for me. But I get how if you haven't listened to the worst things comics can say on a nightly basis, um, it's going to have a different effect. Uh, I'm also not immune to being affected, in the whole nine. So I understand um, what that kind of environment can do to a person. Having gone through it myself, so um, which kind of brings me into the idea of of how we approach things. It's like because I hear the anti-bullying campaigns and stuff, uh, but my thing is I'm kind of different in a way of it's not about it's like don't we're not taking advantage of people who are in positions where they can't defend themselves. And I think that's part of like black man talking shit. Like that's some old school kind of foundation in black neighborhoods, is that black dude to talk shit. Sometimes you at the wrong end of it, of that talking of shit. Uh, so that's where I'm like, the special is Dave Chappelle talking shit, which doesn't make it right, um, and doesn't make it wrong, but it's a black dude talking shit, and how that plays in different neighborhoods and different social circles. Um, and I think it taking it back to to bullying, and even his when he talks about the woman that was his friend that was a trans woman, and kind of how her connection to comedy, she enjoyed the jokes, and that's where she was in her mind. This is I find it funny, um, and then because she didn't fit in line with her tribe, um, they dogged her out. And I think that is something, as a person who I think differently. I'm a old school. I see things how I see it, and I am who I am. Um, it is tough to say things that you don't feel are in line with you, or what everybody wants to do, in the moment. And it's shit. It sucks. It's a shitty feeling, shitty situation. Um, and I think that's one of the things that the special pointed out at the end, where it's like, uh, within the tribe, we can do harm. Like within the tribe, within meaning well, intentions, we can do harm, right? Um, which is where he talks about his friend that committed suicide, and then it gets to the to me the part of the suicide, the violence and abuse, that we have in our society, and like, does this special help that towards decreasing towards accountability, towards communication. No, it's yes and no, I guess. But it definitely like hits on levels where I think if you, depending on what part of society you're in, or on what circles you run in, it strengthened your stance on fuck these motherfuckers, or strengthen your stance on nah man. But I also, there's a third. I'm trying to be funny. Let me stop. But there's a third where it's like it fostered way more communication and thought. And I think that's another thing where I don't want to lose that in this special, where it's like the some I've always admired when I was doing stand up, day in, night out. And it was comedians that was genuinely and honestly exploring their thoughts. And to me, that always stuck out, where I was like, these comedians are just exploring their thoughts. Um, and it resonates when that happens, you know. And sometimes they can go off the reservation, and it's like, oh shit, are you really saying this? Oh, okay, all right. Uh, I think that's important. Where it's like there's a difference between awful toxic shit that comes out of some of these comics' mouth, and they have no. You can tell the intentions aren't there whatsoever. It's just like, oh, whoa, like, um, and then there's comics that are thinking through things, and at times you won't like what they say. At times you find what they say hilarious. At times you find what they say gross or disturbing, and that's part of uh, the craft. Um, sorry, man. It's a mental strain, like, because you're even a legend is like, I feel like you're kind of towing the line between um, like being honest about exploring your thoughts, and what things are like, what things that you ruminate on. I don't know why Dave Chappelle ruminates on the transgender population in that lifestyle, but he does. Um, that's part. That's Dave Chappelle's business. You know why that's it's something that really sticks in his head, and he ruminates on it, and he muses over it on stage, which would be an interesting conversation to have. You know, why is that? Why is this what you keep coming back to? Um, Maybe because he truly doesn't understand. So that's the thing that keeps drawing him back. Where I don't understand this, um, and sometimes it is a sense of something. Why do we need to understand to a certain degree? You know, um, and that kind of goes to the if people are um, living their life and doing living doing the best they can and living a good life, and working is like, it's not really our business unless it's, you know, and if it's legal, consensual, it doesn't bother nobody, you know, it's like, then it's their business. um, that's part of it too, is like, why do we need to uncover every nook and cranny, and understand every single thing? It does. It's a fixation um, culture, right? Where we over fixate, and we need to have our reality TV people. We need to have our athletes. Rather, and it's like, are we focusing on what we're not doing, or what we could be doing better instead? Like, these are people trying to figure it out like anybody else. Um, like personally, I think like I mean, not personally, but it's like I do want like man Chappelle is a heavy hitter um like why not speak truth to power, you know, of what's happening with gentrification or something like that. But that's selfish. Like that's me. Like he's on stage doing him, you know. And that's where I think it's easy to be the critic and looking and saying, I want you to do this and put words in your mouth. And it's like it's art. He's coming from what his like what he keeps coming back to. Um, like when I was doing comedy, I found myself continually coming back to mental health. It's like that was that brings me to that. And if somebody say, hey, you know, I wish you would do more goofball. I don't believe, you know, it's like, hey, maybe there's somebody out there that wants more of that. But that's not me. So I think that's part of it too, where if a comedian is really being like just doing their thing, is like you're not gonna like everything they say. You're not gonna find everything they say funny, and then they'll hit you with something hilarious. Maybe 10 minutes of it to be funny, and then you're like, oh wait, I'm not a fan. You know, it's like that kind of thing. Or maybe if it's an hour and 45 minutes of it is funny, that is the game. That shit is tough.